It is a scary thought. Your email address, passwords, or even your credit card details stolen and put up for sale on the interweb.
Cyber criminals are working day and night to hack websites and steal your personal information. So how do you know if you're one of them? Today, tech expert Trevor Long is here to explain. Trev, how do we ensure it is not us?
Well, that's the big challenge here. We've been talking for years about getting antivirus and internet security and making sure that your computer and your phone are protected. But the real risk outside of that is that other websites, the shops that you go to and different things that you interact with are being hacked, and that your information could be part of those hacks. And what happens is that information, your email address, your credit card number, gets circulated on the dark web, and that's where the criminal underworld make money off your information and then try and scam you.
So how far removed from us is the dark web exactly?
Look, it's just basically a private internet, if you look at it that way. Anyone can access it, but it's very hard to get into. It requires different software. Often it requires like a password to access. So basically, it's the deep, dark part of the internet that we can't get to via a Google search, and that's where criminals and scammers trade in our information. So your email address, if validated, your credit card, if real, could be worth a lot of money to scammers on the dark web.
So you're saying that lots of this information is available on the dark web for the right price?
That's right. And so what happens is once a website is breached, hundreds of thousands of addresses and credit card numbers are made available there, and criminals then use that to build a profile of you, and they essentially try and use that to scam you even further. And that's why scams don't just impact one person, they impact a lot of people. And what's happened here is we've got new websites and apps that can now help us stay protected. So what we can do now is we can search the dark web without going there. So there's a couple of websites you can go to, and also there's a new app from Trend Micro, one of the internet security companies, called ID Security. And what this does is it's a free app. You download it and you type your email address, you type your credit card number, you type your password, and it encrypts that information, goes away and searches whether or not you've been a victim of a scam. Now, I put my email address in and my password, and it showed that, as you can see there on the screen, my password was compromised. So I had to take this information and then actually act upon that. So all these websites you're seeing on the screen now, these websites were websites that I'd used and I'd interacted with, but I didn't know they'd been hacked and my information had been put out there on the web.
The reality is, I mean, if someone wants to hack you, they're going to hack you, and no matter what you've got there in place, is not really going to prevent someone who is very skilled in the area of the dark arts and can get into whatever you've got going. But how can you know? How can you tell? And then what can you do about it?
Yeah, well, I think that's the critical thing, Carl. Hacking's not going to go away. Criminals are always one step ahead of us in security world as well. So what you need to do is be protected. So, you know, if you find out that your email address has been compromised using, there's websites you can search, and the Trend Micro app, for example, ID Security, you can search the dark web. You can search and find that information. And so what happens is you can then change your password. You can contact your bank. So it's about being ever vigilant. So if you are compromised, and you can set this app up so that it'll actually alert you to compromises that have occurred, you can then set up to change your banking details, change your credit card details, change your login addresses. So you need to be ever vigilant. This is not going to go away, Carl, but we need to know what's going on outside of our own computers.
Are you on the dark web?
Sounds like it.
You know a lot about it?
Now and then.
Oh.
Now and then. You know.
What do you get? What sort of stuff do you get?
How do you find it?
It's just good to know what's happening out there. I'm here to help and protect people. I need to be aware of what's going on. That's all. That's all.
Interesting.
It's another whole segment. We're getting you back on to talk about that.
Sounds so mysterious.